Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Mocktail Minutes. This is Brianna. Today I'm drinking a Recess, the grapefruit tangerine. That's just kind of my go-to. But we have a special guest on today that I'm just gonna kind of let him take it away, like introduce himself, introduce his business, his
Thanks,
product, all that good
Brianna.
stuff. So go ahead.
My name is David Neiger. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Maeva, which is a nutrition shake or a meal replacement for people on a weight loss journey, and more specifically for people on GLP-1.
Nice. Okay. Which is great because Bailey and I both we're dietitians. We work a lot with weight loss. That's kind of what we do. And we focus a lot on blood sugar. And so it's just kind of par for the course that a lot of people we work with trying to lose weight and focusing on blood sugar, we work with people on GLP-1, that and everybody is on a GLP-1,
It is,
I feel
yeah,
like.
there's a lot of you want.
And so Bailey, yeah, I'm like, everybody is on it. And so Bailey had tried your product and she really liked it. She had the chocolate and she said it like wasn't chalky, wasn't grainy. It has some creatine in it. I know you have different products, so we'll go over that, but it had some creatine in it and she just overall really liked it. So let's just kind of jump in and I want to know, did you kind of start this specifically for people on GLP-1s or did it kind of just
No,
transform into
that's
maybe
it's
something
such a
like
great
that?
question. Thanks, Brianna. It started for people on GLP-1, and that's really one of the things that makes us different. We see most of the brands out
Yeah.
there, they took whatever is existing, whatever they had, and they're like, oh, by the way, our product is great for GLP-1. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I think we're really one of the only ones out there that we can say that our product was designed for people on GLP-1.
Okay. I love it. Yeah. And you're right. A lot of people is just, oh, we sell protein. Like this is great for GLP-1. You need to focus on your protein. So what is it that makes your product specifically maybe more optimal for someone specifically on a GLP-1 rather than just every other kind
Yeah.
of
So
protein powder?
I'm going to start off. We have three different products. We have our nutrition shakes or meal replacements. We have the boosters that you can add to the shakes, and then we have our electrolytes. So our nutrition shakes, which is basically the base, that was made, for example, one of the reasons it's made specifically for GLP-1 is because it's low calories and high protein. Right. So you see a lot of protein shakes out there that are also very high in calories, high in sugar, high and all different things that you don't necessarily need when you're on GLP-1. One of the other things is it contains vitamins and minerals, so it's not just a protein shake. We have a woman version and a men version. In the woman version, we have collagen and biotin as well. In the men version, we have a little bit more protein, and we have also ashwagandha that helps with testosterone levels. So we've made specifically those products also because testosterone, keeping your optimal testosterone when you're on a GLP-1 agonist for men can be also of an issue. So we are biologically different and we've made the products different for both genders. Then we like to say that we're just not a product, we're a system. So we've developed the boosters, which are also pretty cool. We have a muscle booster, an energy booster, a beauty booster, and an energy booster, which really allows you to personalize your journey based on where you are. You're feeling a little bit, of a slump today. Boom, you add a scoop of your energy booster to your shake. You're having a little bit digestive issues, which is very common when you're on the GLP-1 agonist. You can add the digestive booster. All of them have been made with nutrition experts in a lab, have been tested. I'm really so glad you said that Bailey likes it because we did work for almost a year on the formulation, making sure that it doesn't taste chalky, making sure that it's tasty, making sure that we provide everything that people need without making it overwhelming either.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I didn't know it had vitamins in it, which is important because again, on a GLP-1, you're going to eat less and a lot of things I see are those like vitamin deficiencies. And this is a lot of times where, people feel like they're maybe losing their hair or their skin isn't as vibrant or they're getting more sick easily and it's just not being able to take in enough nutrients and absorb it as well. So having that little kind of safety net is very helpful. Can I ask in your digestion one, what is in that booster?
In the
I'm just
digestive
curious.
one, we have pre and probiotics, we have digestive enzymes and adaptogens and Irish sea moss.
Okay. Yeah.
We
So you
did, we
guys
did.
definitely
We're
did
not,
your
we're just
research.
not throwing things against the wall and saying, "Hey, this is a digestive booster." When you make a product,
Right.
it's really, really important. And this is not our first brand, and it's really important to know what you're putting inside. But more importantly, you want to know what
Hmm.
you shouldn't be putting inside. And I think that's where a lot of brands and a lot of products go wrong. So we did do our homework. Everything is
Hmm.
super clean. We're very proud of what we've done. And we've actually partnered with a nutritionist called Ashley Koff, which is also very well known. She's our spokesperson, and obviously she's looked at the ingredient lists, and she stands behind our products as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad that you said knowing kind of what not to put in it too, because we have all these buzzwords, right? It's like all these like, oh, adaptogens and the, pre and probiotic and, this is great and this is great. And so many things are great. And I feel like a lot of companies right now are kind of just like, let's put all of it in and then like more is better when that's actually not true. So it sounds like you've like picked exactly what you
It
want in
definitely
each and it
does. I
has a
mean, we
purpose.
even see, some protein shakes that have like crazy amount of protein in it. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, but when I see like protein shakes with 40, 45, grams of protein, my first question is, can the body even absorb that much protein in such a short amount of time without the help of other vitamins and minerals which are essentials to the absorption of protein. So we were very careful about not only what we're putting in but how much. That's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that it is the, male, female, different needs, different size people, different
Yeah.
hormones kind of going on. Okay. Okay. What is kind of your biggest hope for your consumers? As someone starting out, and you kind of said it's like a system, right? Like, what are you hoping that they get from using your
I don't get
product?
something specifically. I don't necessarily want people to get something from using our product. What I want is for people on a GLP-1 to achieve weight health and feel good about being on
Mhm.
their diet. Obviously, we help. That's where we come in. When we started looking at the brand or creating the brand, which was a little bit over a year ago, 15 months ago, we saw that everyone was talking about weight loss. That's where all the brands were going. Here's a pill for weight loss, the natural GLP-1, this and that. And that's how our story was born. Our story was born from actually my brother, which is one of my co-founders. He was on a GLP-1 agonist. He was on Ozempic. He's been battling, getting to weight health for a very, very long time. And finally, with Ozempic, he achieved weight loss very quickly. In 6 months, he lost like
Mhm.
30 or 40 pounds. I'm not exactly sure of the number, but he was, he was looking great, but he wasn't feeling great. One of the things that people don't know is obviously when you're losing weight very quickly, you're losing fat, but you're also losing muscle mass. Your body's actually literally eating your
Yeah.
muscles to fuel itself because it doesn't have the calories from your intake. So what happens is you lose all that weight, but you lose also your muscles, and that's what happened with my brother. And your metabolism is directly correlated with your muscle mass. So now you found yourself with less muscle, so a worse
Mhm.
metabolism than you did before. And that's why people have been talking about, the GLP-1 rebound, because you find yourself, if you don't take care of it, right? If you haven't achieved weight health, you find yourself in a worse metabolic position than you did before. And you gain all that weight even more, which is what happened to my brother.
Yeah.
And now it's completely uncontrollable, and you don't know if it worked or it didn't work, and you're completely lost. So what we want, we don't
Yeah.
necessarily, weight loss is obviously very important for people, but what's more important is weight health. And that's what we want people to achieve. And I'm just going to say, I know I'm going on a rant here, but I'm going to say one last thing, on the subject. One of the really cool things that we've done is we've partnered with a company called Social Ladder, and they help us create a community online. So one of the cool things is people get rewarded when they post, they get literally points that they can redeem against their purchase. They get they get rewarded when they talk in our forums, and they can, we created like those closed forums only for people who have purchased our product. Because one of the things that we found out is very often people on the GLP-1 agonist tend to be judged by people who are not, right? And we see that, and they're like, and very often they don't know where to turn to, right? So we are creating, we
Mhm.
launched it last week. So, it's like really, really, just
Okay,
budding. But we want
I
to
love
create a
it.
safe space for people to be able to discuss their issues, be able to, say what worked, what hasn't, share recipes. There's all these different chat rooms that we've created. So I think this is part of weight health. There's a whole psychological part of it. So that's really what I'm hoping for people on the GLP-1 or any weight loss journeys for them to achieve that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing actually achieve weight health, feel good doing it, like feeling good, staying metabolically healthy, right? Having muscle, not being malnourished. And then the community part, which is actually big. And we talk about that a lot on here. There's all of the, practical things that you do, right, to lose weight. Like maybe you're monitoring like your protein and your calories and you're going to the gym and you're doing all these things, but we like to joke at like 80% of weight loss is mindset, right? Like you have to have that mindset, that positive, just that positive headspace. And a lot of that does come with the community because so many people are using GLP-1s incorrectly. And so it's really nice to kind of have that community that's like, hey, I'm trying to do this the right way. I'm taking care of my health, like almost like that support so that you feel
Yeah.
confident to keep doing it that way. Because you're right, everybody has an opinion. Everybody. They have an opinion if you're on it, they have an opinion if you're not, they have an opinion if you look a certain way, so it's really nice to have just, like, that community to bounce things off of, so I love that, and I love that they kinda get points for participation to go towards
Yeah, absolutely.
purchases.
I mean, we want them
Yeah.
to be involved. We really want to be able to create that community. But just, to bounce back on one of the things that you said is there is psychologically it is so important. A lot of weight health is related to sometimes like childhood trauma, things that you've experienced, things that you're going
Mhm.
through. Obviously, there's like hormonal changes, there's genetics which play a part of it, but all the psychological part of it and your relationship to food, people don't talk about it. I read a great book about it from a triple board certified physician. She's done a lot in the weight health space. Her name is Adrienne Udim. She wrote a book about GLP-1. I highly recommend it. It's really about like the psychology behind weight health, which is not tackled enough. So I would, if you're interested
Yeah.
in that whole psychological part, this is definitely a book that I would try to read.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited about this. I didn't know that you guys had like the community. You had mentioned that your brother's a co-founder and obviously he has like some personal ties to stuff like this, right? Like he has struggled with weight, he's been on a GLP-1, he's seen what it can do if you don't have that like nutrition support. Curiosity, what does the
We're
rest of your
super lean.
team look like?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've
Okay.
always operated super lean, where we're like the true startup founders, where we each wear like seven different hats within 1 hour sometimes. So we're three co-founders. So my brother handles everything operational, and I like to say that he's sort of like the saucer and I'm the cup, and he always cools my ideas down. Even when I called him about the whole GLP-1 thing, I was sitting in LA traffic and I came up with this idea, and I know he's been struggling with GLP-1, and I call him up and he's like, Dean, great idea. And that never happens from him. He never says that I have a great idea. So I'm like, okay, maybe we are onto something.
Really?
And then I have
What
another
else?
founder who's his name is Gary. He's really into like digital space and digital marketing, really help us hone on the message and the marketing side of it. And then we have someone helping us on community, and we hired a
Yeah.
graphic designer this week. So we have two
Nice.
people, two team members and three co-founders, and let's see how long we can last. But we definitely want everyone coming on the team. This is like one of the main skill set that I look for is make sure that they're okay doing a little bit of everything. And if you hire a graphic designer, hey, you might be doing a little bit of influencer marketing, and that's okay. And I want to see if that person likes it or not. And it gives them growth opportunities as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it gives you guys control, right? Of who all has like their hands in the pot so that you can make sure this is continuing to kind of align with
There's
what we want,
there's
you know?
definitely the control part. I saw it with my previous brand where, at some point we grew pretty fast and we hired a bunch of people. And if you also don't do it very intentionally, which we didn't, you start getting attrition and people leaving, and it changes the culture. There's a lot. Human resource is probably like
Yeah.
the most difficult part, finding the right person. We were looking for a graphic designer. You think that it'd be simple and easy to find a graphic designer and someone that fits your culture and your team. It took us 2 months. Yeah. So,
Wow.
or maybe more
Yeah.
picky. I don't know, but yeah,
No.
it's definitely not easy.
Yeah, I think it's important though. It's like your baby, you're like, helping it grow into this big thing, which it looks like it's been pretty successful. Honestly, looking from your Instagram, I would not have known that you hadn't had a graphic designer. I mean, you
You want
guys
to
look
hear a
very
secret?
polished.
My wife's been doing it. So
Yes.
there is someone in the
There's someone in the
background. Yeah.
background that's like, yeah, well,
She's a little bit of an influencer, so she knows
yeah.
how to do it and she has a good eye. So I didn't really ask her. I called her up. I'm like, hey, hon, be a social media manager from now on.
There's just a few things I need you to kind of do for me.
Okay.
No, she's done a great job. Okay, I love it. So you have your community, you guys are obviously growing. What is there some sort of like subscription based thing or how does it work? If you're wanting to like, because I know you have a starter kit, but
Yeah,
how does it
so
work like
we have our starter
monthly?
kit, which is a phenomenal value. One pouch is 2 week servings. 2 weeks if you take one every day, which is what we advise. It's 15
Okay.
servings. So the starter kit has 1 month, so it has two pouches. You can choose if you want vanilla or chocolate. And we're offering a free energy booster, a shaker, but also something really cool. Another idea from my wife is a journal. So you can track your whole journey. You can write down, you can put a picture of you, on there. You can write to how you started, how you're feeling. It has places for you to put all your data. We give advice like, hey, you should be doing a DEXA scan every once in a while. There's a couple recipes. So it is a pretty holistic place for you to start, tracking your journey. One of the things that's kind of unexpected, it's some people just bought our journal and nothing else. So we're like, okay, that's not really what we're promoting, but sure, why not?
Sure, like, okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
why
yeah.
not sell it if
So,
people
so
just
people
want
get the
it?
starter kit when they
Interesting.
subscribe
Yeah,
only. Yeah, it's a great value. You can pay like really full price for it, which is $200, which I don't advise you do because if you subscribe, it's only 117. And then 2 week supply to a
yeah,
month supply is $117 recurring. Sometimes some people tell us, $117 per month, it's a lot. But when you divide it by 30 meals, it's less than $4 per meal. I like to say it's less than a Big Mac, but I guess it even depends where you are. But
I don't think there's a $4 Big Mac
maybe,
anywhere
maybe.
anymore. I
Anyway,
don't
it's
know.
definitely more nutritious than a Big Mac, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, I love that. I'm glad you mentioned DEXA scan. I'm really I think you guys have a very, like you said, holistic approach and it's thinking like big picture, right? This isn't just like, oh, take this product, you're on your weight loss journey. It's we're thinking about things that you can add to it, problems that you're going to have, pain points, journal, which I am always encouraging people if they're on a GLP-1 and they think they're going to be on it for like a very long time, working with somebody like me or Bailey, and we're always having people like write things down. Like, how are you feeling? Like, because your mood is important. What are you doing for your workouts? What are you eating? Because we know people react differently to different types of things. We're on the GLP-1. And so sometimes I need to see, like, okay, you're having recurring these sort of issues. Like, what are you eating? Like, let's pinpoint what it is so that way you're feeling good and that you can continue to. Because when you feel good, you do good. Your whole journey is just
That's
better, you know?
weight health. That's
Okay.
what we're striving for is weight health.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys are obviously like, this is day in and day out and you talk to people and it's what you guys are doing is so important in this space, being there as, to support people. And that's really your job, right? It's really to support people. And as a brand, people don't necessarily see brands as a as a support mechanism, but that's what we're trying to do as well. There are so many actors out there who just want to sell a product and move on, and we're really trying to be one of like the good guys in the one space and not take
Yeah.
advantage of people feeling a certain way and just be just do that a hit and run, and that's it. We really want to be there as a support. It's less easy as a brand, to be there as a support and take that role, and because we do want people to participate and to be actively involved, and that takes time, right? Precious thing
Yeah,
that people
it
have or
does.
don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And in terms of, brands, you do bring up a good point because the reality is people want to make money, right? Everybody wants to make money. And a lot of brands just see, like, oh, this is trending right now. Let's just market like this is for GLP-1 support. Let's do it so that we can get, we can touch on a pain point that people are having and make some money. Not that there's any shame to that, right? That's how our world works. But I'm always encouraging people, if you're going to put your time and your money into a brand, making sure that they're transparent with you, they have integrity, they're really trying to do well with their brand, because not all brands are created equal and they don't always have, your best
You're preaching
interests.
the
That's just the
choir.
way it is. That's you're like, I know. This
I
is
totally agree.
my
And even the
industry.
previous brands that we had, we managed it the same way. We were B Corp certified, organic, and really, tried to do things really the right way. And I
Mhm.
think it pays off as well, doing things the right way on the long
Mhm.
term, it's also what's best financially. So obviously we're doing it because we started off doing it
Yeah.
because it's right, but then the fruits of the labor, tend to be more generous over the long term.
And what people don't, I don't think not everybody knows, is when you're trying to be B Corp certified and organic
Oh
and all
yeah,
that,
I
that's
know. I know. I mean,
expensive to get those like certifications and those things.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a lot,
it's
which is
it's
why a
it's
lot of
very
people don't do
difficult. B
it.
Corp certified is extremely difficult. Sourcing organic ingredients is extremely difficult. In my previous brand, we had a full-time person sourcing organic products. I took almost 2 years full time doing the B Corp certification myself with the help of someone on my team, because it's, again, doing the right thing is not easy. Setting up the community, and if you go on there and you'll see what was involved and the chat rooms and all that stuff, it took someone full time 3 months to set that up. So there is, when you're a customer, or a consumer, you go on a website and you see things, and you tend to take a lot of it for granted, but there's a lot of work involved in it, and we enjoy it.
Yeah, there's a lot of work. I do have a question about the monthly subscription. Does that come with some of the boosters or is it
So
just
the subscription
the
itself
shake?
is for the shake. So it's 1 month subscription.
Okay.
You get 2 pouches. Not the first time. The first time you get your starter kit, right? But then you can always subscribe to the boosters. What we see is,
Okay.
we see a lot of people subscribe to the beauty booster, which has collagen, ceramides, biotin, maybe hyaluronic acid, I don't remember, and vitamin C. So, everything you need for beauty inside
Okay.
out. And that's something you really want to take on a daily basis rather than just days that you don't feel like yourself, right? The digestive
You're
booster, we see a little bit less
yeah.
subscription because people take it according to how they feel, right? But we are coming out, that's very exciting, with a muscle booster that helps. There's going to
Mm,
be a clinical ingredient, which we have a lot of clinical backed ingredients in our products. But this one specifically has a clinically backed ingredient that helps synthesize amino acids. So whatever amino acids and proteins that you
mm.
take, it's going to help really maximize your intake. So again, and it's going to have
Nice.
creatine and all the
Okay.
good stuff.
Okay, I like it. So then you can kind of use this as needed, like if you're taking it like after a workout, if you're taking it as like a meal
Yeah.
replacement, if you're okay. I'm excited. I'm going to be on the lookout for that
We're
muscle
about
booster one.
30 to
That's
60 days out. But yeah, we've been working on it. We
okay.
started working on it at the same time as everything else. So it took us like 18 months from idea to, to have it out.
Dang. I feel like that's fast.
I
I don't
mean,
know. I don't know anything about
if you compare it to the CPG world, if tomorrow morning Danone or whatever, CPG, or Nestle or Unilever wants to come out with a product, it could take them like a year would be super fast, but most likely 2 to 3 years. For smaller brands, in the nutrition space, it's probably like 9 months. You're pretty fast. So we
Okay.
obviously have less red tape. Decisions are centralized. We don't have like a million people involved in the process. So that helps. And then we're very
Yeah.
insistent with the people we work with. So, because it's your baby, right? You're not publicly
Like,
created. You're like, hey,
yeah,
I need this sample in the next 48 hours. And you send them 6 emails. And that's sort of like how we do things. We're very pushy.
yeah, like don't forget about
So,
us.
when you're still small,
Yeah.
that's the way I do it. You want to be enough of a thorn that people just get it done for you until you're big enough that they do it because you're profitable.
Mhm. They do it because, yeah, they're like, "Oh, get this done." I like it. Okay. This is I'm really excited. I mean, I knew we were gonna be talking about your product. I knew it was like GLP-1 supportive, but I'm very surprised to find a brand that's like really caring about the psychology behind it, the overall health, the community. I'm excited. Where
On
can
our website,
people find you?
which is Maeva,
Okay.
Maeva.co. By the way, Maeva means welcome in French Tahitian. I know. That's why I saw
I
you were
was just
gonna
gonna ask
ask.
you.
It means welcome, so it was like you're starting something new. It's a new journey. So we thought it was a little bit exotic. It was a little bit different, and yeah, just on our website, we that's where we want to be right now. We
Okay.
don't want to be yet on Amazon or in retail.
Okay.
We want people to get to know us, to experience us. We want to have that contact with the customer. We want to get that feedback, those reviews. It's very definitely. You
More
lose a lot of
hands-on.
control when you leave your
Yeah.
your DTC channel.
I like it. Okay. Well, I'll put that in the show notes, kind of like I'll put your Instagram handle and then I'll also put your website in case people are interested in going and checking it out, getting their starter kit, becoming part of that community. But yeah, it's been great chatting with you. I'm very excited to try. And I know, like, again, Bailey and I every single day, multiple people, we're working with people either on a GLP-1 or just trying to be weight healthy. And so having brands that I only like to kind of like recommend brands that I really align with and like and use. So I definitely will be trying some of your product, but I know that I align for sure with your guys' views on things and I only want to give my clients the best.
Oh, thank
So
you.
thank you for
Really
giving me
appreciate
that
it. It's very
option.
kind of you. By the way, we have like sample sizes coming out
Yeah.
next week. So, for anyone listening who wants to try our products, just let us know. DM us on Instagram. It's Maeva Journey. So Maeva Journey. Send us a DM. You can say Dean said it on the podcast. And I'll be happy to send you over our sample at no cost, obviously.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, but hopefully you're the one answering those emails
No,
and you're
no,
both
no,
kind of like, wait, what are
I
you
am.
doing?
I'm looking at all the DMs. I don't
Okay.
always answer to all of them, but I do most of the time. But you got to be on it. I mean, this is a full-time job.
Yeah, it's a lot. Social media just itself is a full-time job. I couldn't imagine also needing to like create a product. Like
Yeah.
I'm just myself. I'm already there. So I couldn't imagine doing both. But yeah. Yeah, it's been
Thank you,
great
Brianna.
having
I
you. I
really
really
appreciate
appreciate it.
it. And if you have any questions, anything, feel free to reach out. I'm always here to be a resource.
Thanks. All right. I'll give everybody your
Awesome.
contact
Thank
info
you.
and we'll take it from there. Thanks.